And we're back. Welcome to another episode of Culture and Cannabis Podcast. My name is JC Coates. I will be your host today. We have an incredible show. We're going to dive into kind of what's going on here, and we're going to bring in our Oklahoma partners. We're going to dive into that whole story, and then we have a couple content creators here from the Las Vegas cannabis community. We're going to dive into their story and see what's going on with those guys. But listen, there's a lot going on, right, with the Culture and Cannabis team, and let's dive into it a little bit. So I have been back in Vegas for a full, I think, 7 days. I got back from Oklahoma City. We are in the middle of a 32-day expansion program that we're doing in Oklahoma. So, expanding the brand out into 2 states has been an incredible process. Like I said, I went out there for the first week of that 32 days, kind of help get some things set up. And then for the remainder of that month, our partners Chuck and Full-Time Tony stayed out there for the rest of that month. So that I think right now they're on, I don't know, what are you guys on? Almost 2.5 weeks. So they're right in the middle of the 32-day project, and they're getting a lot of shit done. Let's bring him in here and let's dive into a little bit what's going on. Whoa, there he is, Full-Time Tony. What's good?
Listen,
Dog, what do you...
in for my super expensive car studio that me and Chuck quickly made.
Very
after
nice.
A meeting that we just got done with.
Very cool, man. Is it dark in Oklahoma already? Or did you make it dark like that?
It's very dark here in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
It's 6 o'clock and the sun is definitely down. It is nighttime here.
Nice.
We're rocking and rolling.
So you've been basically a sales machine out there in Oklahoma, basically out for blood. One thing on your mind and is getting the ball down the field. How's it been going out there?
It's been fantastic. It looks like we're going to be in about 15 dispensaries and hopefully 30 by the time we leave here.
Nice.
We have a big sales day tomorrow, but we've been making a frick ton of content. I was going to use the word fuck, but we want to use that for later, that compliment for later. But we've been meeting with a ton of influencers, content creators, brands. We're really just seeing how this scene works and trying to meet everyone that's doing the things that we like that are correct. And me and Chuck are just like traveling the whole state of Oklahoma. We're just really
nice.
Learning how to drive around here.
That's great, man. And it's a trip, right? And it's like, cannabis in its infancy as it sweeps across the nation. A lot of this stuff's never been done, right? We're having to figure out kind of the industry the first time and moving out there. This is our first time moving into a new market. And, we didn't have a playbook, right? And we're kind of making up the playbook as we go. What are some of the problems that you've run into right off the bat?
Well, the first thing is that I always have to say, yeah, we're from Las Vegas, but our founder, JC Coates, was from Tulsa. So that breaks the ice right off the bat.
Nice.
So that was the first thing I had to kind of learn, really quickly. If you let people know that you have roots here, then it means a lot more to them, which completely makes sense, right? They want to work with people that are from the community or were born in this community. So definitely having the JC Oklahoma backing definitely helps. So that was right there, just being an outsider, right? Trying to come into the community. But honestly, it's been real smooth, to be honest with you. Everyone's been super welcoming. Everyone's super nice. Everyone wants to make great content with us. Everyone wants to hang out with us. So it's just been good.
Nice. And just to be clear, I mean, as we continue on our expansion, it's we're not trying to take over these markets, right? We're trying to get in and mesh in with the culture and the community and become a part of that fabric, right? As the culture, the industry, the cannabis industry grows and make sure we're doing our part when it comes to doing the right thing in this industry. But so the Oklahoma culture, right, is completely different from the Nevada market, right? What are some of the main differences, some of the main pillars?
Well, I think the first thing is that, one, they don't have a metric system out here, right? And so I think that's been really interesting because we've come across a lot of people who have been burned by people who come from California, Oregon, Washington, with a UPS truck full of illegal product from markets that shouldn't be here and getting sold into the industry. So I think as they start getting a little bit more regulations, I'm definitely not a fan of regulations or more taxes, because I believe that, if you want the cannabis community to thrive, you can't really you can't be too harsh on it. But to make sure that patients get safe cannabis that needs to be the seed to sale tracker. So I think once they kind of get that rocking and rolling, I think things are going to be smooth sailing out here. And I think it's going to be a great model too, because it's going to allow people, anyone that is has good credit or is a hustler or an entrepreneur, it allows good people to own cannabis licenses. And I think sometimes in these privileged markets where it can only be multimillionaires and people with a lot of influence who get these licenses, they're not necessarily the best people all the time. Not that they're bad people by any means, but I just think it's a different ball game, right? Because I'm walking into places that are completely family owned. Mm-hmm. It's the mom and the dad, or the people that kind of run the operations, and then the kids are running the dispensary or the cultivation. So it's just really cool to see.
Yeah, no, I think it's dope. And listen, to the black market, right? I mean, it's such a kind of like a touchy subject, right? Because I mean, we kind of started in the black market, right? And but then there's different kinds of people in the black market, and once you kind of get into this medical programs and you get to meet some of the people and the patients, and for the people that have their own medical stories, right? It's important that those patients have quality medicine, right? And unfortunately, sometimes the black market fails in that area, right? And it's a shame, right? And so that's why I think it's important, and why we want to continue to participate in the legal market and become part of the fabric in some of these newer markets. But let's you want to comment on that?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think the thing is that I'm sorry that I used the word black market. I wanted to say traditional market because, so many people that are in the industry now definitely started there, me, you, and Chuck included, right? With that being said, though, I think the biggest thing the biggest reason why I think regulated legal cannabis is so important is because of the testing. Yeah. And because a lot of these products that really concentrates where that's super dangerous, they have these super high amounts of pesticide, and that's the whole vape situation that happened 6-7 months ago, or almost a year ago now. I mean, it's been a while, but yeah, so that's why you definitely need to be careful, and everything needs to be tested before it goes into your body. Yeah, because your health is the most important thing you have, and that's the last thing I wanted to say about it.
Yeah, no, it is important, and the other thing too, a good thing that comes with regulation is the the people getting dealt with that are in jail, right? Some of those people getting declassified, losing their felonies, and getting out, right? And so that's kind of what some of the legal market is bringing too. It's important to highlight. It's not the end of the world that legal cannabis is coming for. No. But I think overall, it's a good thing. It's been a blessing to be able to participate in that. So let's talk about our products, Doug. In the Oklahoma market, when are they dropping, and what are we featuring?
Unfortunately, due to a shipping error, which, listen, when you're hustling, this stuff is going to happen. We had about 15,000 tubes for our new infused pre-rolls and our 1 and 2 pack pre-rolls that are coming, that we're going to start with 4 SKUs in the market, and the truck got lost, right? So we kind of had to pivot, and so we're starting with now just the 7 gram ready to roll bags, which has been honestly a massive hit. And I think it's just a very unique product, and no one really does it out here yet. And so people are just really cool, like the idea that we're making these unique products that are attached to media. On every single one of our products, there's a QR code that takes you to some form of our media, a fill out form, so that you can get connected with what's going on with culture and cannabis in the digital world while you're consuming our products, which I think is just something that hasn't been done out here yet, really, in the country. And so I think that we're kind of leading the charge in that way. So the ready roll's been received really well. It's priced really well, and it's just a cool pack. And I think we're going to be adding lighters soon, JC, and I think that's going to be the tipping point for it.
Very cool, very cool. I mean, it's the famous 7 gram culture and cannabis bag, right? It's the best value quarter bag in the entire state, right? It's what's happening here. Go ahead.
We just had a great time with a couple content creators and influencers, people that are in this community here in Oklahoma City, and they were just talking about how it was so simple, legit. We opened up the bag, weed's already ground, they pour it out into a rolling tray, we're rolling it up, we're having a great time. There's no this taking the flower, grinding it up. And I love my bud to stay intact as much as anybody else, but when you're on the go and you're hanging out with people and you're happy going throughout your day, it just is so convenient, and as someone that uses it on a daily basis, as a consistent smoker, it's like a product that if we didn't make it, I probably would buy it.
Nice. Yeah. That's what it is, man. That's what it is. Well, listen, what else we got going before I let you go? Give us some parting thoughts from Oklahoma.
Stay tuned for some culturist foods coming out of Oklahoma. Me and Chuck went to a restaurant that we're going to do an episode at when JC comes in town, and it was fantastic. It's called Juniper. I'll be posting some photos shooting on my Instagram about how delicious the food was. Like, I was just so shocked. Like, I got this meal in Tulsa, Oklahoma, downtown Tulsa, Oklahoma. And stay tuned for more content from Oklahoma City. We've been based in Tulsa, so we're going to try to get as much content while we're here in OKC for the next couple days, and then when JC comes back. So if you're watching this and you're in OKC, just know we're coming to town today. We're here. We're actually in Edmond right now in our car shooting this podcast. So
nice.
Stay tuned for that, and stay tuned for more videos and content. We are committed to creating a video every day, sometimes 5 times a day. And today we created 4 videos alone today. So just stay tuned for all the content we have. We've met so many dope people, so many dope brands, and it's just the train is rolling, man. And
nice.
It's just like we're rocking and rolling, and either get on the culture and cannabis train or get off.
The train is leaving, brother. Listen, y'all be safe, and I will see you. It looks like in about 7 days I'll be out there, and we'll wrap up this whole expansion project, get it done, and then on to the next
fantastic.
one.
And then we're on to the next one, but we'll make sure that Oklahoma is well taken care of in our baby Nevada. So
nice. All right, guys, y'all be safe. We'll catch you next week on the podcast. Peace.
Love ya.
Boom. There you have it. Listen, I mean, these guys are crazy, man. Listen, we were sitting at, and you know, I think it's Publicus in downtown Las Vegas, and Full-Time Tony had the Airbnb picked out for Oklahoma. This is before we went out there, and you know, he had his finger on the button. Should we buy the Airbnb for 32 days, JC? It's this much money. It's uncertainty, right? And I'm like, fuck yeah, man, push the button, and we did it, right? And we made that commitment, and you know, listen, it's just a testament to, like, if you can finish it in your mind and you can show up on a daily basis, it is definitely possible. And these guys are making it. They're telling the story on a daily basis. Go follow Full-Time Tony. He's getting it done out there. But listen, let's switch gears and let's dive into our guests here today. Here in Las Vegas, they're content creators. They're moving and shaking. I think on a there you are, guys. On a weekend daily basis out in the community. We got Remy, LBC, and Asher Valentine in the building. What's good, guys?
Not much, man. Just happy to be here.
Nice.
Loved hearing your story. You know, Oklahoma's cool.
Nice.
And lots of stuff going on over there.
Yeah.
Just happy to be here, man.
Nice. Well, I appreciate you guys coming on. Thanks for busting out the dab earlier.
Yeah, no worries.
I'm feeling pretty good.
Gotta have a dab before you have an interview. It's part of the process,
I kind of think so, right?
You gotta smoke before you smoke, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Wait, you're smoking?
Yeah, you smoke after you smoke, you know? Well, shit. Like, you just had a birthday, Remy.
I did. It was yesterday.
Yeah. Happy birthday, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah. How old are you?
I'm in the 3-6 Mafia now.
3-6, dog. Oh, shit, man. I'm going to be 45 next week, so get ready, bro. Yeah, and all that shit coming
45?
I will be.
You just hit 30, bro. Come on.
On 11/11, yes.
Must be the Cannabis.
1975. It is the Cannabis, right? And the no alcohol. Well, shit, guys, you guys... I mean, you guys do a bunch of stuff, right? You guys are on the gram, right? Like, you know, the Cannabis community lives on Instagram, right? Like, if you didn't know, like,
yeah.
And you guys are in that space, right? Like,
I
let's
slowly
talk about
figured
it.
that out.
Yeah.
I've never really considered myself a content creator. Asher's kind of more of a content creator, but I do create content. I've had to start to create content because I realized that, you know,
he's a content creator.
Yeah, but you know, I'm a people person. Like, I like being with the people. I'm a host, you know. That's why I like to bring the people together. That's kind of my thing.
Nice. Now, I don't really look at myself as a content creator either, but I think I am.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely are.
Yeah, so Asher, Is it a content creator, right? What's in your Instagram bio?
Well,
What does it say at the top?
it's like
Does it say
I can't even remember. I gotta pull it
Public
out.
figure?
Public figure,
Probably.
actor, content creator, and something else.
Nice.
Yeah, but yeah.
So okay, so let's talk about the kind of content that you guys are creating. Remy, let's go first. Like what are you doing on the gram? What is it?
You know, Asher, he came to me and he really wanted to do some like funny cannabis videos. He's getting into the cannabis industry in a new way. And so we decided to just do funny things. We've done all kinds of cool stuff. Like recently, just for Halloween, we were the Ghostbusters.
Yes.
And then we took our proton packs and we put a Bel Air on it. You know, Bel Air out of New York, they have those shotgunning devices. And we went to the parties and we were like giving people shotguns with it, and it was fun.
Just trying to change like the whole outlook on the cannabis industry up a little bit, make it more positive, funny, like take it back to the roots. Tommy Chong, like Cheech.
Okay, so like if we're taking it back, like where would you say it is kind of now?
Right now, I think everybody's trying to make it still like the party scene, and like it's in my eyes, I think it's kind of like harder for us to go fully legal when it's like that. So when we put like the comedy in it, more positive, take like the little bit of the party out of it, because I got to separate my profession to this, so, and I'm trying to make this also my profession. So
are you talking in the parties and stuff? Are you talking about like the sessions? That are
like
happening,
and
then so you host some of the sessions.
I host a lot of sessions, and in a bunch of different networks. And it seems like Vegas is kind of a small town, so it's like the community is one.
Yes.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And whether it's, like I just hosted Skate Wars, where my Skate Wars at. And even though it was a community event.
Yeah, which wasn't a sesh.
Yeah, it wasn't a sesh. It was a skateboarding competition.
Yeah.
But everybody in the industry came out to support.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we do a lot of different things, but some of the content we create is we do it just because it's fun. Like we just did this one Benjamin Budsworth, which was this killer who was going around town, and he was killing all the cannabis community. So we made a series of videos. You should check out Benjamin Budsworth. It was pretty funny. We got like 12 episodes, and then there's a final episode. And it was a lot of fun. And we started it because our friend Luke came to us and wanted to create content, and he kind of liked the things that we were kind of doing, and so the three of us just like teamed up on it.
Nice.
Yeah, made it a deal. Hopefully it can be a movie sometime.
Yeah,
in the future.
we start making it better. It's like very, very slapstick, not done super well,
super cheesy
but it was
too.
just fun.
But it's cool.
So let me get weird on you for a minute, right?
Yeah.
So
Okay,
all right.
let's get weird.
Yeah, let's get
weird.
weird, right? Sorry. All right. So Instagram, right, could kind of be a second dimension, maybe, right?
Sure.
Right.
Not
Yeah,
like
no.
so like I think
right.
sometimes we talk about the robots taking over and stuff like this, or us living in an alternate reality.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? People talk about it, but aren't we already on Instagram? Like, aren't people looking at me and interacting with me right now? And
You're
I'm kinda
not
like,
wrong.
I'm like living in there. You know?
No,
You're not wrong
at all. No,
And it's funny because there's that whole thing where, do I call you by your Instagram name or like your real name? And then like look around and like say what's up. Like Asher has a lot.
That's a huge deal.
he has a lot of issues with that because of his profession. Yeah, like.
Yeah.
And so, what is your profession?
Yeah, let's talk about your profession, dude.
Yeah.
No.
Well, my wife and I are in the adult industry.
Okay.
My wife is Aubrey Valentine. She's contracted through a company called Mind Geek. They're Reality Kings. She's a Reality Kings girl, contract girl. And
Shout out Reality Kings.
Yeah. And dude, I got a couple scenes on I think it's Brazzers Plus, Reality Kings, True Amateurs. I think there's one on Mofos, and but yeah, just wanted to.
So a couple scenes, right? So
Yeah,
like,
just
I
a
mean,
couple
like
scenes.
you're getting naked and
Doing the thing.
Doing stuff.
doing the thing, right?
Getting naked
cool.
and doing stuff.
Yeah, I'm doing stuff.
Like, so how does that work, bro? Like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, how does one
You put a P in the
become a porn star, right? Like,
Well, kind of funny story. Even how we even got into it is we moved out here from actually St. George, Utah. Her and I were like living with my mom, and she was working at the Alma House.
Okay.
And we heard about camming, Snapchat Premium, and stuff like that. And she came home and she was like stressed out, and I was like, we got to get out of my mom's apartment,
Yeah.
And so we kind of like almost mutually came to the agreement at the same time type deal. Like, let's just try it, give it a try. And then 3 years later, AVN Stars came out. I woke her up. It was like 7 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, hey, you got to jump on this platform. Next thing you know, August of last year, she was featured in AVN Magazine. She was getting contracted by Reality Kings the next month after that. And here we are right now in 2020.
You know, your typical love story.
Yeah.
So it was just like right place, right time, and just putting out the content, you know what I mean?
Right.
So trying to take that energy of putting out content into this industry now, you know what I mean?
So it's interesting to me that, creating content is something that you chose, right? So let me be specific, right? So like I'm in a jam, right? Like used to back in the day, like if I'm in trouble, like I'm not thinking about making content to get me out of the situation. You feel me?
Right.
So let's talk about,
that's definitely a new thing.
But you guys have, right? And it sounds like it got you out of a few different situations, but I want to talk about like, some of the opportunities that, creating content has created for you guys. You guys can take that on one at a time, or
You want to go?
Well, I mean, to touch on that, like OnlyFans, like think about the quarantine, man. As soon as quarantine happened, everyone got an OnlyFans. Everyone got an OnlyFans. Like I have dude friends that have OnlyFans, and they have never shown any naked photos or anything. Just do dude stuff.
Well, like there's like to chime in on that. Even the people that talk bad on the industry before Corona hit. Corona hits, and now like everybody and their mom has an OnlyFans, whether it's showing feet or doing other stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like
it's definitely become part of the Instagram culture, right?
Yes.
Or the content creation culture.
Without a doubt.
And it's kind of an outlet too. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of these TikTok videos that these kids are doing nowadays are like standing in their driveway, like doing dances and stuff like that. I mean, it's better than sitting there and doing video games. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it can be dangerous. You know what I mean? I feel like social media, you got to be careful. And I like the fact that I can be myself on Instagram. I don't have a fake Instagram, like, or a persona. Like, yeah, it's not my like legal name on Instagram, but I mean, it's close. Remy is Jeremy. My name's Jeremy. So just take out the J-E and you get Remy. But I don't pretend to be someone that I'm not. Everything that you see online on my page is who I am. And that's what I do.
I think that's important.
Yep.
Living your truth. I try to live my truth on Instagram. It's the most powerful thing, right? And I think a lot of people miss that, and they get caught up in the Instagram anxiety and the comparisons and stuff like that. But like if you really want to win on Instagram, tell your truth, tell who you really are, because that's what people want to hear, and that's what people going, like when you go to my Instagram and you see, the stories about my medical story, right? Cannabis, that's what gets the most reactions, right? And when people come up and talk to me about the content that I create on Instagram, it's those kind of reactions, you know what I mean? It's really cool. What's some of the best relationships that you guys have built through the content creation process?
This one,
I mean, honestly, we've become really good friends. And we have so much in common, and we think alike, and it just makes it fun and not work. But so this is like the first relationship, and then like to further what I said earlier, our friend Luke came to us about creating this Halloween serial killer series. That's hard to say. Halloween serial killer series.
Halloween serial killer series.
And it built that relationship. And then also, we have friends that hit us up. Hey, come to the house, shoot a video with us.
Everybody,
and it creates. It's like it's a bond.
Yeah, it's creating a community of itself almost. You know what I mean? Like a collective almost. For
real.
Of your alternate digital self. Though, right?
It's crazy because so everybody back home, pretty sure you guys are watching at home. Knows what I do for a living, but everybody that I meet while I'm Asher, it has no idea of my background. Like I tried not to talk too much about it, but now I'm like, screw it, I'm here, let's talk about it. You know what I mean?
But sometimes I have to catch myself when I'm like, when we're out, and I'll be like,
yeah,
all right, is it an Asher kind of night, Or is it a West kind of night?
Dude, he said my full name at a host when he was hosting at a sesh. Actually, at a Halloween this recent.
I did, yeah.
No.
Oh, it's like too late.
Yeah, but it was pretty.
It slipped out. Might have been the marijuana.
Right.
Could have been the heady beers that I drank, like 7 of them.
Yeah,
So
heady beers.
let's talk cannabis, guys. You know, you guys kind of, you know, run in the cannabis community out here, right? Definitely a part of it.
Yeah.
You know, why cannabis? How did it kind of get into your life, and when did it all start for you guys?
Well, for me, do a long story super short. Went from riding dirt bikes my whole life. Got into went to factory, went to the whole thing. Ended up ruining my life with partying and went to separate ways. And then I was always like fighting with my parents with about like trying to use cannabis instead of ADHD pills like Ritalin or Adderall, whatever. And like it was such like, you know, when I was like 2006, 2007, like parents were not having it. So I always went against the grain with everything, you know, and then finally came about that, you know, it actually does help me. I got into drugs, got sober, only using cannabis, doTERRA oil and cannabis. I didn't use Suboxone, Subutex or anything like that. Fell in love with it even more.
So you were addicted to opiates?
Yeah, opiates and meth. Like I was a junkie, dude. I loved drugs, you know. And my wife gave me an ultimatum one day, February 14th, Valentine's Day, 2016. She gave me an ultimatum. It's either me or the drugs, and I was like, I'd be dumb if I go with the drugs. So it was the first person out of my family that gave me that ultimatum, you know. Yeah. So I went with it, and after getting sober from that was like I fell in love with cannabis at that, and then when we moved out here, it just seemed like a perfect fit, you know. So I'll fight for cannabis to the day I die, you know.
Nice.
Like I've done it since I tried it the first time with my dad in Amsterdam. So
there you go. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
I was gonna say I got into it just casually through recreation. That was kind of my thing, and I didn't really do a lot of drugs until I hit my 20s. I was kind of a straight edge growing up. Like I didn't really need it, you know. And then I started doing it more when I was in my 20s, and I don't use it for any medical reasons really. I use it for artistic reasons, you know. I play in a band, so it helps me write songs. You know, it'll help me think. It'll help me just relieve like all the things that I have to calculate all day long and just erase them from my mind so that I can focus on my craft. And I got into hosting cannabis events through the community, ironically through art. That's how it happened. Like I got into the industry because I was helping people do art at shows. And someone asked me to host the event because the host didn't show up, and you know, I've been on stage for a long time because I've been in bands, so it just worked out. And then I just I just grew in the industry, and I've always just loved cannabis. So I wish I had a very interesting cannabis story, but I really don't.
I don't think. I mean, a lot of us don't, right? I mean, cannabis is one of those things that almost everyone's tried it. You know what I mean? And you know, listen, it's a blessing to have a medical cannabis story, and I think it's a blessing not to have one.
Yeah, I mean, either way, if it makes your life positive, I mean, it doesn't really.
I mean, and that's what makes the plant so beautiful, right? And makes this industry beautiful, and the culture beautiful, and what makes, you know, this sign behind me just a bunch of bullshit, right? And the stigma, because the way that the plant transcends through all kinds of different cultures, whether it's art or through the recreational user or through, you know, the user that needs an opiate substitute, or, you know, somebody that's struggling with anxiety or sleep. You know, the cannabis plant can really touch all those areas of one's life in a positive way. There's my cannabis stigma rant.
No, I mean, it's true, dude.
So, like, let's talk about the stigma, though, right? Like, so, like, you guys, I mean, Asher, you clearly don't give a fuck about stigmas, right?
Nope.
So, I mean, Remy, do you guys even think about it, or is it
I mean,
like, you have another job, right?
Yeah, I'm an engineer. You know, I have a full-time job as an engineer. I don't boast about what I do outside of that, but at the same time, I'm not hiding it because, like I said, who I am online is who I am.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's gotten to the point where, you know, they're not testing for cannabis here in Nevada. And I do have a medical license. I do have sleep apnea, and apparently it helps with that. So it doesn't affect me. Like, my sleep apnea only just affects people I sleep around because I snore. So other than that, I don't really care. But yeah, I mean, honestly, no, I don't want to hide anything about it. You know, I don't want to put up this fake front. Like, you know, the cannabis industry is beautiful, and the things that go on, like, and no matter what event I've been to, if it's been a cannabis event, there's like no drama happens, nothing happens.
Right.
Like, everyone's just hanging out and smoking weed. It brings people together.
Yeah.
I think
It's better than bars.
It's way better than bars. Yeah.
I Cam. I second that one too. No, I mean it's an all around positive industry. Plant. I mean,
People should see it like that.
Yeah, it's not that. That's for sure. It's not that at all. It's completely insane that's even a thing, you know, or was a thing.
I saw something on Instagram. I think we're frozen, but everyone can still hear us. It was drugs are winning the war on drugs, right?
Yeah.
Drugs are winning.
Because I think the election, I think we have like 6 new states come legal. Looks like psilocybin was rendered legal or declassified in Oregon. So listen,
I think they also do mushrooms up there too.
That's California and Oregon now, right?
Yeah.
California and Oregon's the two.
Yeah. So get you a bag of weed and some mushrooms and
right?
and a health and wellness book, right?
Yeah,
and get on your cannabis journey, right? Well, listen, let's wrap this up, guys. Where can they find you? What do you guys got coming up? Let's do the plug.
Yeah, okay. Well, you can find us on Instagram, Remy LBC, and
Asher __ Valentine.
2 underscores because he's got a
a thing.
But we got plenty of partnerships that we're working on now, product videos that we're trying to do. We're working with a couple of different cannabis companies that want us to make content for them. So, and we always just put out regular stuff about our day, what we got going on in the community. You can always find out about a cool party if you follow my story. I'm always posting not only just flyers for my events, but for other events of people that I, fuck with or whatever. So yeah, just follow my story, dude. That's where it's at.
Cool.
We do have some stuff that are brewing in the pot right now that we can't speak of, but just wait, hold on, and we'll drop it.
Nice.
Oh yeah, we're working on some music too.
Nice.
Me and
Okay.
Asher. That's all we can say about that. We got
it's coming out.
Yeah. And also, I can't talk about that either. So just a bunch of stuff we can't talk about.
Nice. Dude, there's hype. The hype is real.
Yeah. Just hang on. Man. We're here.
Well, that's dope. Listen, guys, thank you guys so much for coming on. It's a blessing to be a part of the cannabis community and to be able to network with you guys and,
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Of course, man.
thank
Thanks
you.
for coming by.
I can say I have a skateboarding competition coming up on the 22nd, and on Black Friday I'm hosting a car show. But
Nice.
just follow my story.
Yeah, get connected to these guys, and if you're kind of curious, get on the gram and just search the hashtag Nevada Cannabis Community, cannabis community in general, or whatever city you're in, and you're gonna find a whole community of people that use cannabis, and you'll be able to find a bunch of people doing really incredible things in the cannabis community. But listen, that's a wrap. Another episode
Hell yeah.
in the books, and we'll catch you guys next week. Peace.